Hello, I'm Dada Vedaprajinananda, and today I want to speak on a subject which I think is important, but we don't speak about enough, especially in the yoga community. It's not really dealt with enough. And I'm speaking about the sentient vegetarian / vegan diet. So this is something which is important. Many people know that that most yogis are vegetarians, so they don't eat meat. That's well known. But there is another kind of a diet which we call the sattvic or sentient vegetarian diet, which is very important if you're really serious about your yoga practice. So what is the sentient or sattvic diet? In the yoga philosophy, we say that nature works in three fundamental styles. So there's a static style, a mutative style, and a sentient or sattvic style. So what is the static? So look at a big rock. It has tremendous inertia. Rock of Gibraltar, for instance, a giant rock. It has tremendous inertia. It's fixed. It's immobile. And then, so that's an extreme example of the static way that nature works. And then look at the crashing waves or the rapids on a river with many rocks. So then that means that's the mutative style of nature, which is in the forefront there. And then look at a clear lake in the early morning. There's not a ripple on that lake. That's the sentient or sattvic style. So what the yogis say is that the different foods have predominance of one of those styles. So there are certain foods which are static and they make your mind static. There are certain foods which are mutative and they make your mind moving. And there are certain foods which are sentient or sattvic, and they make your mind clear like that lake, or placid like that lake, without a ripple. So clearly, like if you're interested in meditation, then we would want food which is good for the body. Also, that's another important thing. The food should be good for the body, but also good for the mind. So that means for the yogis, the sentient food is the best food. The food which is really good for the mind. And then there's another kind of food which may be good for the body, but it's mutative for the mind. It makes the mind moving or active. And then there's food which is not good, maybe good for the body, but definitely not good for the mind. And that's the static food, the tamasic food. It's also called by the gunas in Sanskrit. So static means tamaguna, tamasic is the adjective, and the mutative is called rajoguna or rajasic is the adjective, rajasic food, and sentient food, sattvaguna or sattvic. So for the yogi, the best foods are the sattvic foods. So now I'm going to go through the list of the foods. Now this is the tough part for some of you guys. So the sentient foods, according to the yoga and Ayurveda also, is the fruits, the grains, the vegetables, milk products. I'll talk about milk products a little bit later, but they're, at least in the classification, they're sentient. But regarding the fruits and vegetables, they're 90% okay, but there are certain things that are not okay according to the yogis. The onions, the mushroom, and garlic are static. They're not good for the mind. Some of these foods may be good for the body in certain instances. I know that garlic sometimes prescribed as a medicinal thing, but it's not good for the mind. So in the traditional yogic diet, it's not there. So the yogis don't take that. And you notice also that very strict Orthodox Hindus, the Vaishnavas, like people from the Hare Krishna movement, they also follow this sentient diet. So for the yogi, then the best foods are these fruits and vegetables and grains, and the vegetables, with the exceptions that I mentioned. The grains and milk products are okay. Well, I'm still going to come to that after. So then we come. That's called the sattvic food, and then we get to another kind of food which is called mutative food. So this is foods kind of like in between. It makes the mind more active. So like coffee, tea, chocolate, the caffeine type things are active, and you know that when you take some, then you can feel active. That's why people to stay awake. You pull an all-nighter, and you're going to get out the caffeine, get out the coffee, and get out the tea, or get out even stronger medicines that have that. So for the yogi, I mean, if a little bit, and also this varies in the colder climate. It's not really so bad, but for very strict yogi, like monks like me, we don't even take that. And then we come to the static food. So what is the static food? The static food is the meat, fish, eggs, then the onion, mushroom, garlic. So it's the meat stuff, and the fish and the eggs, especially the meat of large animals and like that is really not good for the mind. Sometimes it may have some for the body. You can say it's good, although people can argue about that also. So this is the thing. Then there's another. So that's the component. So that for the yogi, then they want this sattvic or sentient food. And another thing for the yogi is we take into account the yama and niyama, and the first part is ahimsa, so not to create harm to others, not to take the life of others. Like for instance, this is something that's not well known, but it's true. Deer meat is sattvic, sentient. It won't hurt your mind, but by the principle of ahimsa, we're not going to kill a deer and to have a steak out of the deer. It maybe won't harm won't disturb your meditation, but it will disturb the deer. So this is the thing. Now I'm going to come back now to the milk products. Traditionally, milk products have been part of the yoga diet. Even when you begin pranayama, actually the fat in the milk products is actually helpful for you. It can be good for you in that way. But now we have to, especially in this modern age, we have to really think. This is my opinion, because there's some of even my colleagues will argue with me on this. But my opinion is that the vegan option is better. The reason is, first of all, there are many substitutes. You don't need the milk products anymore. In fact, my guru once wrote, he said that when the day comes when people will invent the substitutes for milk, then people will not even keep the cows anymore. They won't herd them, and they won't raise them. And that day has actually arrived. That milk is there's so many. You go to the supermarket, then you're going to get oat milk, almond milk, coconut milk, rice milk, and so many milks are there. So that's one aspect. But the second aspect of this all is that we have to think of from the point of view of ahimsa, that dairy animals are not well treated, and a cow should live 25 years. That's the lifespan, but a dairy cow doesn't live that. And plus all the males are slaughtered. So when you're drinking milk, many animals have had to die in order for you to get that milk. And then plus the animal that gave you that milk is really enslaved or tortured. It's really you wouldn't want to be born again as a dairy cow, you wouldn't want it. So think about that. That's what my guru once said, that you should think, before killing an animal, think 10 times, before you kill an animal. I would say 100 times, and then even don't do it. And the same thing with, I think that you should start to think about now the dairy things. But I won't go into that. But in any case, and here's another thing which is interesting. Sometimes people say, well, I understand about meat, fish, and like that, but onion and mushroom and garlic. Actually, those things for the mind are worse than meat, even though you're not killing anybody. To kill, you pick your onion, you're not harming higher life. Yeah, that's also the thing about food. Take the food where consciousness is less developed. That's the principle. Where the consciousness is less developed. That's also in this applying Ahimsa. Where the consciousness is less developed, you take. So anyway, an onion is not a developed life form, but the effect of the onion is just as bad as the meat, and maybe even worse than the meat. So this is a rule, something to consider. And now I want to do one more thing about this. I know that there's some people who like to follow this in principle, but if they don't see it, that's okay. Like they're eating something, and someone's delivering something, and they don't read the label. Okay, I didn't see the label, so it's okay. I didn't see it. An egg is in the cake, but I didn't see it. But it's all up to you how strict you want to practice. If you want to be a strict practitioner of yoga and meditation especially, then you start to read the labels and you see where your food is sourced and where it comes from and how it's done and like that. So that's all I wanted to say. I know it's an unpopular subject in some cases because I'm making too many rules, but it's up to you. It's you want to get the best meditation you possibly can get, then I would suggest you follow the sentient vegetarian or vegan diet, and then your meditation will be good, and your health will be great too. This is also, there's so many health benefits of this kind of a diet. So I think I've said what I wanted to say about it, and you can comment on it. But for your information though, this is the sattvic vegetarian or vegan diet, or the sattvic yoga diet, and I hope that some of you would try it out and see. Everything you should try out. Don't take my word for it. Don't take anybody's word for it. You can try it out, and if it helps you physically and mentally and spiritually, then you continue. And if it doesn't help you, then don't do it. Try something else. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say, and I finish with the yoga greeting, namaskar, and I hope that we will meet again.